Welcome to Voices in Mystery. I'm your host, Nancy Carlson. This is our 13th season. With me today is Mary Jane Maffini. Welcome.
Thank you, Nancy.
Mary Jane came a long way to the show because you're from Ottawa, Canada.
That's right.
So we should call our show an international show.
I think it's very international. And urbane, too, of
Oh,
course.
yes. You were born in Nova Scotia,
Nova Scotia.
not Ottawa. And how did you end up in Ottawa?
I followed my husband.
And do you work in the federal government
I
there?
have done. I was a federal government librarian, director of two different libraries, and but I went to a lot of meetings. And you know, if you go to a lot of meetings, you always feel like killing someone. And I thought, you know, I know how to do that. Right?
So for how many years have you been killing people in your books?
For fun and sometimes profit, you mean? I started, well, I wrote for a long time before I learned really the trade and got published, but my first book came out in 1999, and my 13th book is coming out in April.
13 books.
Is that unlucky?
That's
I don't
wonderful.
know.
No, it's not. It's very lucky.
Oh,
I think
good.
as long as you're getting published, you're
Yes.
lucky. Now, you've not always stuck with the same protagonist. You've
No.
had 2 or 3 series.
I have.
Tell us about the protagonists that you've learned to live with here.
I've learned to live with and not die with them. My first protagonist is Fiona Silk, who is a failed romance writer with no sex life. And I once tried to write a romance. I heard there was money in it. And I wrote 50 pages of the worst romance ever written. And it was so bad I couldn't read it myself. And so I thought, don't want to waste that. And so she was such a lovely girl, too, that I thought, well, perhaps I'll make her a reluctant sleuth. And she has brought me much joy since I started that.
How many books did she make?
There are two. There's Lament for a Lounge Lizard and Too Hot to Handle. And I promise her if she's really good that someday she can have a sex life again.
Does your publisher say it's time for a new book in this series or that?
Not the Canadian publisher. I'm in charge of that. And I have the other series, too, and they're both with the same publisher who has been terrifically good to me. So I am on tap for 2012 for a new Camilla McPhee book. And that is my other series.
All right, tell us about Camilla.
I'd love to tell you about Camilla. She is a crotchety lawyer.
Oh, yeah?
Widowed, and she's turning 40 in book 6. And this is book 6, Law and Disorder. And I was mean to her. I killed her husband before the series started. She cares only about justice. She's very single-minded. If you were in a bar fight, you would want Camilla on your side. So they're funny mysteries. They have a lot of Nova Scotians, Cape Bretoners who have come to Ottawa in them. And there's, you know, murder's never funny. Death of the victim is never funny. We don't laugh at that. But we laugh at human interactions and sisters and what they can do to their little sister and what it's like to have the world's worst office assistant, Alvin Ferguson. So based on some people who worked for me, but they don't know that.
I'm wondering if people you met in government or in your life, you're able to change the name and put those personalities right into your books.
And they don't know themselves. So one fellow that I do draw on heavily, and his ex-wife, there's his ex-wife, buys him a signed copy every Christmas. Right?
She knows.
She spotted it. Right?
She recognized it. So this is Law and Disorder. That's a funny name.
And it is about lawyers, and every chapter has a lawyer joke. I collected them from all my lawyer friends, and the lawyer jokes, once they're received in the mail anonymously, lead to a similar crime. And Camilla has to find it out. So the first one, actually, I'd just like to tell you what it is.
All right.
Is how do you keep a lawyer from drowning?
I don't know.
Shoot him before he hits the water. And it happens.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yes, take my brother-in-law.
Now, let's talk about Closet Confidential. What a funny name that
It's
is.
a fun name, isn't it? It sounds slightly racy. It sounds a little racier than it is. This is Charlotte Adams' mystery, and Charlotte Adams is a professional organizer. She's 31 now, in upstate New York, and she runs an organizing business. She's a very kind person and gets to wear great shoes and great clothes. The shoes I can't totter around in anymore, and I'm a little jealous. But she, you know, organizers have a tremendous power. They're in your home. They know what's in your medicine chest. They know what's under your bed. They know what's in your closets. I thought, what a set of skills to give someone to solve a mystery.
That's right.
And they're just a bit obsessive, might I add.
They know how to peel away the layers,
They do.
too.
They see what's behind things, and they see from your possessions the way you are. They know what your concerns are and what your worries are.
Now, is Charlotte herself organized, or does she only
Yes.
organize other people?
She organizes other people, and that would include me. So
Oh,
I've learned so
really?
much from her. I'm kind of professionally disorganized. So I have found, and every chapter has a hint.
Okay.
And
Can you
so
read us one of those
I'd
hints?
love to read you a hint.
Because I could use some help getting
Well, I
organized.
have the first one says, "Show me your closets."
Uh-oh.
And I'll show you your secrets.
Oh, well, that set it up for her
It
being a
does.
sleuth.
Yes, she is. And so before you start your closet project, select a favorite charity and donate your surplus clothing.
Good.
So that's a useful.
That's very good.
It makes it easier for you to actually take that thing that still has the price tag on it, that's 5 years old, and give it away.
But it's pure silk,
It's
and
pure
you don't
silk,
want
and you could be a size 2 again. Who knows?
to. That's right. So she has a client that she's being hired to
Yes.
organize, and what's the next thing that happens? In
Well,
this
this one, the client is Lorelei Beecham, who is the face of a cosmetics company, who is a woman in her 40s, very beautiful, a Sybil Shepherd type, very narcissistic, has 7 closets stuffed with things still with the price
Oh,
tags.
my.
And her daughter has died in an accident, and the husband brings in Charlotte. He thinks that this will cheer her up, take her mind off. And of course, she continues to be very morose, and she's drinking a little bit and maybe sedatives. And Charlotte is very, very frustrated with the first interview, since she doesn't want to look at the closets or start the project. And as she's leaving, Lorelei turns to her and says, "Can you help me find out who murdered my beautiful Annabelle?"
Oh.
So she's pulled once again into a murder and into a mystery. But she's equal to it, even though she's 4'11". 4'11".
she's
yes.
short.
Yeah, she is. Right?
Well,
Yeah.
these sound delightful. It sounds like you take the murder seriously, but you have your own humor in it, and
That's right.
enjoy it and pull it from your own life a little bit too.
I do.
I thank you so much for being with us today. From Canada, Mary Jane Maffini has joined us on Voices in Mystery. Good luck to you in all your writing, and
you.
you were a delightful interview.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you
I
very
loved
much.
being here.